morning. Start it up, letting it warm up, getting the rollers going. We will be making the first initial pit here, so we're going to set fuel pressure real quick and keep on trucking along. So I'll be setting the camera down here in a minute. We'll be videoing that first pull. All right, so we're trying to set the base fuel pressure on it, but this regulator has the wrong spring in it. So just a little tech FYI, if you have the spring, or if you have not the right spring in here and you have it adjusted way too far down, even if you get the right fuel pressure, what has a tendency to do is it will not boost reference the fuel pressure correctly. So we're going to change the spring. Garrett's got it there in his hand, so we'll change that spring and that will fix all of our fuel pressure and boost reference fuel pressure problems. So keep in mind, improper boost reference fuel pressure equals burned up motor. So always remember that. Got to make sure that all that stuff is correct and right. So we're going to change that spring out, and then I think we'll make our first base hit. Another thing here I'll show you is I've gotten them, we're going to do this a little closer to the way I normally do it. So our target AFRs are all in methanol scale instead of a gas scale, because I can understand that better. So sometimes you need to do things the way you understand. So and one of the things here you'll see in the base fuel table is pounds per hour table always looks normal. That's not a big deal. But if you go into the VE side of it, it has this really weird little line right here where significant jump in VE, but it's because it swaps over to methanol. So where I'm showing you that they run it in gas, so gas all the way to basically to 1.7 pounds of boost, and then it transfers over to the second set of injector. So this is 100% on the primary injector, which is the drive injector down below, and then 0%, so it shuts it off after it gets past 1.7. It shuts the under manifold injector off and then turns on to the upper injector right here. All right, so that's how that is working. And as you see, currently we're probably going to really need them to put a second injector in it on the methanol side, because effectively we're going to run out of fuel somewhere around 35 pounds of boost right now. So that's what the white indicator is it's basically it exceeds 100% duty cycle. But we'll see exactly where those numbers end up being. So since I didn't dyno it boosted, and we're doing it here, I didn't dyno them with these injectors, only dynoed it NA. So I'm going through a scaling of I didn't normally do. So we'll figure out exactly what these injectors want and how they're correlated there. So a little interesting stuff there for you on the fuel regulator, how the system works, how we're trying to getting them back in line with running this in a methanol scale, because really don't give a crap gasoline scale for driving down the road. Oh, so that's the other thing. So always remember to, real particular about this, numbers are just reference. Numbers don't mean anything. The number itself doesn't matter what the number is, as long as we get the proper result, and then we know what that number gets us. So don't get hung up on it's got to have this number, it's got to have that number. No, it don't. It needs to have the number that makes it work right. It needs to have the number that makes it run right and make the most horsepower. So a long time ago I used to say, I don't care if I spread peanut butter all over the top of the manifold, which I never do, by the way. If it made more horsepower, made it run better, just do it. It doesn't matter. So always remember that. So while we're changing that, Zach's changing that regulator spring, so I'll give you a little bit of tech there. I'll set the camera down. Hopefully the next thing we're going to do is make our first initial pull. So we'll kind of just be a real light, easy sneak up on it. Boost controller, I just basically just adding about 10 pounds to the gate. So not a big deal. Shouldn't make much more than 15 pounds of boost or so.
This is the little spring that came out.
Little spring, big spring.
Thicker.
So, I am driving the dyno today. So Garrett wants me to drive it while we're doing tuning. So that is what I'm doing. So I will be working on the laptop. And this first pull might be a little bit different because it does works through transition. We don't have any of that stuff tuned yet. So we'll see how it goes.
George, you want to drive Rodney or Twisted Tea? I say you put the tires on the cars randomly, and then have George sit there. No, you pick, buddy. You want a Twisted Tea? You never doing that before. You want a Twisted Tea? Yeah, fun that. Oh, you did catch on fire last time, though.
Yeah, I just won't do donuts. I'll just crap off a little bit. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of 50-50. That's what I was
The
thinking.
inner workings.
Rodney's guaranteed to pull the tires off.
Then do Rod. All you need to hear. Guaranteed. Guarantees.
Back in the bed of the truck.
Go faster. It's harder and harder to get in. That's better.
Like a hurricane. Stand the gale force wind.
they're already getting a little sticky. So. We'll see.
Now I do have some Dyno.
Alright, well, we found a timing modifier that was throwing things off because our water temp sensor.
Screen on right?
Green's on right, you're good to go. Here we go. Oh my gosh! Yeah, I guess I'm forgetting that the engine made 890. No. So. Shoot, wait! Golly, that was so effortless. It made 1285, 1016 foot-pounds of torque. What'd you get to, like 6,700? No, like 6,700 RPM or something like that.
Yeah.
Match Dyno. Match Dyno.
Oh, yeah.
Nice job. We're done. First pull. It's like unheard of in our world.
Alright, let's see where we're at. That is so fun. Boost. Oh, no, maybe a little more boost.
11 pounds.
Yeah, 12 pounds.
I was gonna say I'd have made it more than 7, but I guess it didn't sound real clean.
No. Let's take 42% out of the fuel table.
Okay, we're a little far on
A
that.
little far out. That's alright.
Holy cow, man! I can't believe it made that much power right there. That is so fun. Good block light.